I really appreciate you, Brother Ricky, for setting the tone with the breathing. Lord knows I needed it because this week has been a wonderful week, a voluminous week. All right. For those new, welcome and thank you for sharing time and space with us. I do like to begin in prayer. All right. Allahu Akbar. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Oh Allah, bless us in what you have provided for us and to our community, shape society. May Allah grant us clarity. May Allah grant us conviction. May Allah grant us courage. Ameen. All right, y'all. Now, the first thing that we do when we have these debriefings is we have what's called word alchemy. And what that is a breakdown of the title. The titles. Typically in study, what's wise to do is the words that you're reading, you're going through to define them, right? So that you have deep understanding and understanding of the words that you're using, right? Anyway, let's begin. Right? Tonight's talk, the brief is called The Rib. The Rib, Architecture of Sacred Partnership. All right, now we're going to begin by breaking down what that means, the hidden code that's in plain sight. This is with any word, whenever you're reading, whenever you're dealing with information, don't just say it. Understand what it means, every word. So that's what we're going to do. It's very important. I'm going to tell you why. A title, and this title in particular, is not random. I selected every word for very precise meaning and reasons, all right? Each word holds weight, and every word unlocks meaning. So what we're going to do is dissect it right here together, all right? The first word in the title is the. The crew, y'all should know what this means already, right? The is a very powerful word. It's a powerful word in its utility and its meaning, the intention behind it, right? The is what we call a definite article. Y'all remember that. You have definite articles, you have definite articles, and you have non-definite articles. Anybody who study English and literature, you know what I'm talking about, right? The points to something very specific. So this is about the rib, not a rib, not any rib, the rib, right? One particular rib. I'm talking about one in design, one blueprint, one divine architecture, all right? So when you say the, you are saying this is the one that matters, okay? This is the clear signal amongst noise. The sun, the heart, the truth, not one of many, the only. Y'all with me? The rib. So what is a rib? What is a rib? Well, I'll tell you. So, okay, in word alchemy, we look at the etymology of the word. That's the original meaning of a word, all right? So rib comes from Old English. The original word was rib. It just had one more B. And then before that, it was Proto-Germanic. It was called rebja, right? It is a curved bone that forms a protective cage around vital organs. So anatomically speaking, it shields the heart, the lungs. Without ribs is a wrap. It's not going to be too good for you if you don't have ribs, all right? If you don't have ribs, your heart is exposed. If you don't have ribs, your breath collapses. The rib is not there just for looks. The rib is such important infrastructure, okay? The rib is the frame that allows you to stand, to fight, to breathe. Like literally, you need your ribs to be able to breathe. You need a home for your lungs, right? The word rib also carries an older meaning, which is interesting. The original meaning before that was the structural support beam, right? Very specific in boats, shipbuilding, right? Curved timbers that give a vessel its shape and its strength, right? So without it, there's no form. A ship has no form. A ship has no integrity. Let me let these people, okay. All right, okay. So if a ship don't have integrity, it sinks. It's a wrap, the Titanic, right? So now we go to architecture. That's Greek. Kton. That's the original word. Archon. Archi, these are two words. Archi meant chief, like the leader or primary. And tekton is the builder. So the primary builder, the chief builder, the architecture, right? Now, architecture is the science of designing structures that last. That they don't just, you put it up and then it falls. It stays, it lasts for generations, right? It's not decoration, it's solid, right? It's a load-bearing design, if you will. Like, let's speak in technical terms of the internet. The SSL platform is an architecture, right? It's a load-bearing design. It's not just pretty for the sake of being pretty. It's a solid structure, right? So architecture Proper architecture of anything, any system, is the difference between a building that stands for hundreds of years or one that collapses when it rains, the first storm, right? So the architecture says, he asks, what holds weight? What creates space? What protects? What allows function, right? Architecture is intentional design for a specific purpose. Stay with me. Next word is sacred. Sacred is from the Latin word sacer, meaning what's set apart, is different, it's consecrated, it's holy, it's not common, unique, it's not regular, it's not casual, it's not interchangeable, okay? Sacred means that this thing has been designated by the one upstairs, right? For divine function. So to treat something that's supposed to be sacred as ordinary, very disrespectful. It's blasphemy, right? To honor it as sacred is to align with its purpose, its partnership, all right? That's the next word, partnership. And what does partnership mean? What does partnership mean, right? It comes from the old French word parconere, right? Parcon means division, portion, share, right? Partnership is the state of shared responsibility and shared benefit. Partnership, shared responsibility, shared benefit. Partnership is not individual ownership. It's not hierarchy, right? It's integration. Two distinct parts as one functioning system. Each one has a role. Each one has authority in its domain, and it equally is important. Each one is dependent on the other for the whole function. Now, let's synthesize this. Let's put this all together, these words. The architecture of sacred partnership. This is not, I'm not trying to be metaphorical just to be metaphorical, right? But the alignment is uncanny. This is very specific. This is the specific, divinely designed structure that protects the most vital parts of a man while that man is being protected by himself, right? Now, this rib we're talking about, this curved, flexible, life-sustaining framework that allows him to breathe, it allows him to stand tall, and it allows him to endure pressure. This is the set apart blueprint given by the Creator for how masculine and feminine integrate into a unified, unbreakable system. So this is not about superiority, and it's not about subordination. This is about function. This is about survival, okay? Now, this in particular is the architecture that keeps both the man and the woman alive. It keeps the man and the woman protected, and it keeps us both purposeful. Okay, I could see it. Damn, I'm back. The devil trying me, y'all. It's all good, though. Am I back? You see me?
Back, but can't see you, brother. Can't see your video for some reason. I can.
Okay, just be patient.
Yeah.
All right, mute people. Let's go back to mute. We good. Look, if it happen again, we just come back. It's all good, right? We're relentless, okay? Now, this is about, I lost my place. This is about the architecture that keeps both of us alive, right? It keeps us protected, right? When you understand the rib, you understand why the prophet, peace be upon him, he said this, I'm talking to the men, the best of you are those who are best to their wives. This is Islam. The best of you are those who are best to their wives. Don't they say that Islam is very controlling and women don't got rights and yada, yada, yada. We're going to get into that. Listen, our prophet, peace be upon him, he said this. He said, the best of you are those who are best to their wives, right? Why? Because a man who breaks his own ribs is a man who cannot breathe. Your woman is your rib, right? So let's get into why the rib is part of this divine blueprint. Let's go to scripture. Let's go to the Injil, the gospel. In Genesis 2:21 through 22, you probably know this. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man. And while he slept, he took one of his ribs, right? Closed up its place with flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman and brought her to the man, right? In Islam, our beloved prophet, peace be upon him, he said this, woman has been created from a rib and will in no way be straightened for you. right? So if you wish to benefit by her while crookedness remains in her. Don't jump yet. And if you attempt to straighten her, you will break her. And breaking her is divorcing her. That is in authentic Hadith, Sahih Muslim. Now, hear me out. This is not, I'm telling you right now, this is not a statement of inferiority. This is a statement of pure design. The rib, the man is the spine, the woman is a rib, and the rib is not lesser than the spine. The rib is different from the spine. And that difference is not a flaw. That curve or that crookedness is not a flaw. It's a design. It's intentional, okay? Now, the rib protects the heart. Your rib cage is literally a fortress around your heart and your lungs. Your heart, most important, it's not over here, by the way. It's right here in the middle, right? This is your left ventricle shoots out over there. It's right here. I'm back. You see me? Sorry, yeah. Maybe, because, we were live streaming on YouTube, so that's done. Maybe that's what it was. That's probably what it was, all right? Huh? Reporting me? Haters, report me. It's all good. All right, listen, so the heart is right here. That's the engine, and below the engine is your lungs, right? Without protection, they're very vulnerable. One strike is a wrap, right? The rib does not exist just to exist. It's not for its own glory. The rib exists to shield that which keeps all of us alive, okay? A woman in her divine design is the protective structure around a man's emotional center. Shall I run that back? A woman in her divine, her God-given design is the protective structure around a man's emotional center. So what does that mean, Mike Rashid? It means she guards his peace. She shields his focus, right? She defends his ability to operate from a place of clarity instead of a place of chaos. Listen, y'all, hear me out. Fellas, when we are under attack, when we're depleted, when we're vulnerable, a righteous woman becomes the cage that prevents the world from killing us, from piercing us at our core. She doesn't replace the heart, she protects it, all right? The rib is curved, it's not straight. Remember what I said earlier about that authentic hadith? It said, if you attempt to straighten her, you will break her. This is the beautiful intersection of biology and theology, speaking the same language. Because if you look in any medical documents, if you break a rib, if you try to straighten a rib out, you break it, you pop it. It's the same in theology. A rib has a natural curvature, right? That curve is not a defect. That curve is perfection. The curve creates the space for your organs in which they can function properly. If you forcibly straighten a rib, you know what happens. It hurts and it snaps, right? The woman operates with emotional intelligence, with intuition, with an adaptive fluidity. She can navigate situations that our rigid logic just cannot solve. We can't do that, right? We can't do what they do. She senses what you miss. She responds where you would react. This is real. A man who tries to make his woman think like him, operate like him, move like him is gay. You want another man? Is that what you want? They're not logical. So you want a boyfriend? Okay, I can hook you up. You know what I'm saying? We in California. You're trying to straighten the rib and that's not the vibes. You don't want you. I don't want me. I don't know why she want me. Listen, you straighten a rib, you break it. Fellas, stop with that. Man, she's so emotional. Women are not logical. Stop. You're trying to straighten them out and your relationship is collapsing and you're the one who broke it. I always tell guys this. Like, we be talking to some of my homies and, man, she tripping. This girl crazy. Shut up. It's you. It's you. First of all, a man should always embrace what we call radical accountability. So your issues is never nobody else's thing but you. It's on you. And if you don't control the temperature in your relationship, it's your fault, okay? Because that's not what she's supposed to do. Now, your ribs is close to the heart. Atomically, it sits like inches away from your heart. It's not above it, it's not below it, it's not beside it. It is beside it, I'm sorry. This is positional theology. Like literally, the woman is not beneath a man in value. Just not. She's not lesser than. She's also not higher above him in authority. She is beside him, close enough to feel this heartbeat, close enough to know she's close enough to know when his heart is racing or slowing down. She feels that, she knows that, right? Close enough to speak directly to his core when the world is so loud. Proximity to the heart means that She can access to what he hides from everyone else: his doubts, his fears, his grief, his dreams, even his access to power. And power without honor, you're heading for destruction. Now, this is why Islam commands men to treat women with dignity, with respect, and with care. Because if you harm the one who guards your heart, you have dismantled your entire defense system. Let's get back to the rib, the structural integrity of the rib, right? And the support that it provides. Your spine, it holds you vertical, right? But without ribs, it'll collapse. Your whole torso collapse. You see, the ribs is the framework that allows the spine to carry its weight without buckling. So a woman provides structural reinforcement that allows a man to stand tall under pressure. I'm going to run that back because I don't think y'all listening. Sometimes y'all don't want to hear these things, the truth. A woman, and yeah, this is Mike talking. Manly man Mike. Alpha male Mike, right? Listen to what I'm saying. I attest to this and I bear witness to this. A woman provides structural reinforcement that allows a man to stand tall under pressure. I'm 6'1". Before I met her, I was 6 foot. And I'm probably 6'5" now, 6'10", right? Listen, a woman will stabilize what the world tries to bend or break. So when a man is about to fold from exhaustion, when you're about to, you're doubting yourself, right? When you feel like the weight of responsibility is too great, a strong woman becomes a frame that says, you're not collapsing under my watch. Come on, we don't do that. We don't do that. Before my woman, it was my mother, the same. I got in a fight. I always tell the story. I didn't get in a fight. My cousin got in a fight. We was little kids, little boys. And we come back, adrenaline. He won. Mommy on the porch. She just knew something happened. It's like, she come down, what happened? I was like, his name is Elijah, but his nickname is Sugar Bear. Sugar Bear got in a fight with the high voice because I was a kid. Sugar Bear got in a fight. She said, and what you do? I was like, nothing. He won. She was like, so? I was like, okay. I'm about that life. That's real though, all right? A woman is not going to carry the load for you. That should not be the vibe. But she holds the structure so you can carry it without falling, without crumbling, okay? Your ribs allow breathing. And ribs are moving. They're not static, right? So when you inhale, they expand. When you exhale, they contract, right? Without that movement, you suffocate and you die like that, and it's horrible death. A woman creates space for a man to expand into his full capacity, then allows him to contract and recover without any judgment. She does not demand constant performance. Nah. She understands rhythm, growth, and rest, okay? She understands conquest and then recovery. A good woman will make room for both without making him feel weak when he needs to exhale. It's not her nature. Your ribs, they work as a unified system. One rib does not protect anything. It's a complete cage working together. So when ribs are broken or misaligned, the whole system is compromised. Breathing becomes labored. Movements become painful. Protection is not there. This is the necessary partnership of the entire system, of the unified system, not two independent agents sharing space, but an integrated structure where each element reinforces the whole. Everybody's job is important. The rib is important. The spine is important. When a man and woman are out of alignment, when they're competing with each other, right? Instead of complementing each other, divided instead of unified, that's not the vibe. So there's no more protection. So your relationship is weak. Your structure is weak. The breathing is impossible. You can't imagine yourself with another day with this person, right? Here's another thing that I think the fellas are gonna like this one. The rib is hidden. It's not external. Ribs are not visible, right? Biologically, it's covered by muscle and skin. You don't see a rib. A woman's deepest value is not in external display, is not public performance, okay? Her most powerful function happens in private. That's where she's protecting. That's where she's stabilizing. That's where she's creating room for us to breathe. The world sees the man standing tall. It does not see the rib cage that's holding him together, right? And this is not diminishment. This is sacred function. The most critical infrastructure is always hidden. You don't tell people all your business, right? The rib is very durable and is very strong, but it requires care. Ribs can withstand impact. That's a fact. However, they are dense bone designed for protection, but they're not indestructible. Blunt force trauma or constant pressure, constant neglect, they're going to break. A woman can endure. A woman can protect. And she can support, but bro, she's not invincible. She requires care, honor, and she requires protection in return. A man who thinks his woman is supposed to just handle it without that reciprocal covering is asking for his ribs to leave and break and expose his heart, okay? That's how you end up broken from the inside out. Our beloved prophet, peace be upon him, he said this. This is in Sunan Timridi. This is authentic hadith. The best of you, fellas, the best of you are those who are best to their wives. And I am the best of you to my wives. He said wives, but that was back then. You know what I'm saying? This is not suggestion. We could talk about the polygamy thing in Islam too, because let me just touch on it real quick. Polygamy is not in Islam some freaky thing. No. The standard and the permission for polygamy is so unrealistically attainable or unrealistic to attain. It's like don't even try. The amount of Muslims that are actually polygamous is the smallest percent of the smallest percent. Just throwing that out there. All right, anyway. So us being really good to our women, our wives, is not a suggestion. This is a commandment, right? This is a command. You know how they got the 10 commandments? This is like one of our commandments. You have to be good to your woman. Treat the rib with care, or you ain't gonna survive your fights, right? The rib and the spine, they're attached. Every rib is connected to the spine. The spine is a central column. In a relationship, that central axis is shared values, shared submission to Allah, shared purpose. She is not connected to the same central truth you are. She cannot function if she can't function as your rib. It has to be alignment. A woman operating from a different moral center, a different spiritual foundation, a different ultimate authority is not protecting your heart. She's pulling your structure in competing directions. This is why the Quran says this in the second book, the Cow, 2:221. And do not marry polytheistic women until they believe. And it's not because they're less human, but because the architecture does not hold if the foundation is split, right? This ain't the rib, not bone. This is the rib. They're supposed to be the rib, not just any random bone. Now, a specific, intentional, divinely engineered structure designed to protect, to support, and to sustain life. That's what you need. And when you understand this, you stop asking, why is she not more like you? You start honoring why she is exactly as she was designed to be. And that's perfect. Now, we have to diagnose this whole thing, right? The corruption of the rib. Let's look at this disease from this societal disease from the modern world, right? See, the modern world declared war on what I'm talking about. Man is the spine, woman is the rib. It's caused war, and the casualties are in an abundance. You have a certain cancer or corruption of system called the feminist corruption, right? This is rejecting the curve. What do they say? The modern feminists, right? Your value is becoming a man. Rejecting softness, rejecting your feminine intuition, rejecting that curve, even literally, right? Being rigid, being independent, be the spine. It's crazy when I hear women be bragging about single women that's getting up there in age, bragging about the money they got. I'm like, that's cool. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? They force themselves into this weird, narrow, linear way of thinking. They suppress their emotional intelligence, obviously. They've abandoned nurturing. They think a woman that's nurturing and catering is weak, and they try to make them feel a certain way about that. So if you don't have that, then you're a man, you're masculine, right? And they call women who are naturally designed to be feminine, right? They call being aggressive and masculine empowerment. It's fascinating, right? So what do we have? What's going on? They're exhausted, burnt out, angry, lonely, because you cannot fight your own design and win. It's not going to happen. A rib trying to be a spine is a rib that's broken itself in half. Ladies, listen to me. A broken rib ain't protecting nothing, okay? But it's not just them. It's us too. It's the fellas too. It is a masculine corruption. It's this attempt to straighten the rib out, okay? Men thinking that they need to, see, they're looking at women like they're supposed to be on the same functionalities, right? It's weird. They're too emotional. They're too irrational. Too complicated. So they try to straighten them out. They demand logic when intuition is needed. They dismiss feelings as weakness. Oh, she's weak. She's crying. They force compliance. Listen, when somebody's crying, listen. Try to observe, pay attention. Now, there is sometimes people will use tears as emotional manipulation, but that's not the case most of the time, okay? Listen, if somebody's crying, something's really bothering them. And who are you to not sit still and try to figure it out and just be what they need at that moment, all right? So you got these guys trying to force compliance instead of honoring real collaboration. So they treat the rib like a malfunctioning spine. And they're wondering, why did it snap? Why did she snap? Right? Remember what the Hadith said. It said, if you attempt to straighten her out, you will break her. But you didn't listen. You wanted a woman who thinks like you, you wanted a man. You wanted a man, right? And if she couldn't be a man, you call her broken. No, you broke her by refusing to honor her design. Now let's look at this whole big cultural disease, right? This weird thing between men and women. Battle of the sexes. Why? If the sexes are battling, then what up? It's only men and women, right? Competition instead of complementing each other. That's not the vibrations. We literally live in a culture that has replaced partnership with competition. Men and women are just not taught to integrate anymore. That's not the vibration no more, right? They taught to oppose, right? Who earns more? Who sacrifices more? Who has more power? Who deserves more respect? If I ever hear anybody say, man, I want to say, I'm the prize, I'm like, yo, Pampaya. Like, what are you talking about? Bumba Clyde. Listen, this is not a war, right? And remember, y'all, in a war, there's never winners. It's just casualties, right? The rib should never be in competition with the spine. The rib protects what the spine cannot protect. The rib supports what the rib can. So together they make a structure that works, that endures, that's natural, that's God-made. We ain't gonna quit. We're not gonna quit, all right? The root of all of this chaos is one thing. People have abandoned the blueprint. Y'all think y'all don't need God. Y'all think y'all don't need God. Or y'all think that, like, I know this because I have conversations with people, and people are trying to, like, come to me and they're like, they dancing around God and Islam and religion, right? People, they don't want to feel like they're not smart enough to be and they start talking about, well, I believe in the energy. What does that mean? What is energy? What are you talking about? They want to believe in everything but God. Remember this, y'all. Without God, there is no morality. There's none. There's no ethics. Y'all heard of Dark Ages, right? Y'all heard of Dark Ages? People who went through said Dark Ages were people who abandoned God. So what were they doing? It was in the dark. You start, people be like, well, I could still be a good person and not believe in God. Okay, go for it, right? What happens? And you're nice, whatever. Everybody's nice. Listen, everybody's nice. Even serial killers are nice, right? You don't know that is. They're not running around with knives like, I'm a serial killer. They're nice, right? So then you start having you don't have boundaries because you don't have this moral ceiling, right? Yeah, I can do something with this woman, with that woman, with that woman, with that man, that dog. Yo, the Dark Ages was like that. People were walking around on all fours in caves, living like beasts. Literally, this is not hyperbole. This is like actual facts, right? And then the religious folks came in, stop, leave the goat alone. Don't do that to the goat. This is real. I'm making light of it, but it's real. This is what happens when people have no God, right? Look at our society now. People are less religious, but they're also dating robots. There's sex dolls. People have sex with toys, with life-sized, robotic, whatever, right? What's next? Actually, I'll tell you, we watched the crime stories. There was a story of a woman and a man who went to jail because there was bestiality on her phone of them. This is what happens when you don't do that when you believe in God and when you fear God. Is that an extreme? Yes. But there's a lot of things in between that too, right? When everything I'm talking about, the mistreatment of the rib, I'm speaking of Islam because this is what I know. When you embrace Islam and the principles and the tenets and the rules of Islam, you're not allowed to treat a woman bad. You're not. We have God. It's a simple equation. So people, they no longer asking what did the creator design this for, right? We ask, what do I want this to be? What can I turn this into? And when you operate outside of this design that the creator has created, you have chaos. You have chaos. Men treat women like rivals or property, okay? Women treat men as oppressors or as irrelevant. I don't need a man, okay? It goes both ways, but both have forgot. Look, it's crazy out here, right? I be wanting to really turn it up on y'all, but y'all ain't ready for real like that. Y'all not ready. Anyway, both, men and women forgot that the rib came from the man, but the man cannot survive without the rib. So this is interdependence. We need each other. What are you fighting for? I need a woman need a man. Like, what are you? It's only men and women, okay? And that is how things were designed to be. When you reject it, you building your relationship on sand, no solid foundation, right? Look around you. Look at the divorce rates in the world, right? This is real. The countries with the highest divorce rates are European countries and America. But America is a European country. America is an extension of Britannia. That's what America is. It's only 400 years old. This is a very new country, 4 centuries, and it is an extension of Britannia. It's these European nations with these high divorce rates. A lot of them are too smart for God. They're too smart. Science created what he created. Science is a word that we use to try to quantify something that's already done. I can show you scripture in the Quran, medical scientific marvels that they knew 1400 years ago because God revealed it, that is not stated in medical or scientific terms, but it is exactly what it is. Exactly. Okay? Science is how we articulate. Science and mathematics is how we articulate God's plans and God's creations and God's methods. These are his languages. Don't forget that. All right? So you have, nobody wants to get married. Women walking away from being feminine. They don't want to be feminine, right? They call themselves a feminist, but they're not feminine, right? Children don't have fathers. Families are fractured. The home front is a war zone. That should be a sanctuary. Man, don't raise your voice in my house. Don't raise your voice in our house with our children here. Don't raise your voice at all. Listen, any of y'all who get into a dispute with your significant other or anybody for that matter, and you start raising your voice, you are weak. You're weak. And I'm telling you, tighten it up. Tighten it up. Don't go there. I know you feel that pull. Like they just said, what? No, don't. You're triggered. Pause. Don't. Take a beat. You're weak. That's weakness, okay? It's not okay. It's entropy. That is entropy. This is the predictable result of abandoning the rib. You cannot improve on divine design when you abandon the rib. You just break it. And we've broken it as a culture, as a society. Now, the question is this, though. Will you rebuild? Okay? So I always give a diagnosis. I diagnose the issue, the social disease that exists. But then I also write a prescription. All right? This is the restoration of the rib. This is the antidote. The solution is not new, right? The solution is a return to the blueprint. It's that simple. Return to the design, to the rib. For men, fellas, honor the rib. You are the spine. You carry the load. You set the direction. You control the temperature. But you do not survive without the rib. So honor the rib. Stop trying to straighten her. Stop demanding that she thinks like you, or just go get you a guy. That's what you're trying to do. Stop dismissing her intuition as being irrational. Oh, she might not know you did this with that girl, but she know you're doing something because your energy's off and she feel it. She see it. It's gone. So listen, when a woman is applying her intuition, she's not being irrational. And you might think because she don't know that you did XYZ with so-and-so and so-and-so, but she tripping about something. It's your energy. Off, foul, stinks, don't feel right. She knows. They always know. Sometimes they don't say nothing, which women don't do that. But sometimes they don't say nothing, but they know. So do not violate that. They know. Wait till your woman gets more tapped in and more in tune. She's psychic. Y'all think these things, these concepts just came out of we just thought this up and it just doesn't exist? No. Everything that exists in a movie exists in real life. Art imitates life. Factual. Anyway, a woman's curve is not a flaw. Her curve is what protects your heart, right? The Prophet, peace be upon him, he said this. He said, treat women kindly. Women have been created from a rib, and the most crooked part of the rib is its top. If you try to straighten it, you will break it. And if you leave it, it will remain crooked. So treat women kindly. This is divine instructions. And it's not because a woman is flawed or broken. No, their design is different. And different is not deficient. Fellas, provide protection. The rib protects your heart, but the rib also requires protection. You are the muscle and the skin that covers the rib cage. You are the first line of defense. If you don't protect her, she cannot protect you. What does that mean, Mike Rashid? You defend her name when she is not in the room. You shield her from harm, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. Spiritually. Fellas, y'all listening to me? Don't leave that out. Create an environment where she can rest, okay? Because a woman who never rests cannot sustain the structure. Provide provision. If you don't know what and how much, Islam makes it clear. It says the man is the provider, not because a woman is incapable, but because provision is part of the spine's role. You carry the economic load so she can carry the emotional and the relational load. This is division of labor for maximum efficiency, okay? When both people are scrambling to survive, it ain't no structure. It weakens. The Quran says this: men are the protectors and the maintainers of women because Allah has given the one more than the other because they support from their means. This is not any kind of oppression. This is just architecture, right? We also have to provide presence. The rib sits close to the heart. That proximity requires your presence, not just your money, not just your labor, your attention and your time, your emotional availability. A man who provides everything except himself has not honored the rib. Y'all good? Y'all follow me? Don't abandon it. When you abandon it, it becomes brittle. Ladies, y'all get some of the smoke too. Ladies, come in, listen to me. You're not the spine. Ladies, you ain't the spine, so stop trying to be. Be what you are. You are the rib. Ladies, you're not the spine. You are the rib. But the rib is not less. The rib is essential. Protect the heart of the man. Your primary function is to guard what keeps him alive. Lady, this is so important. His emotional center, his spiritual core, his peace. When we are under attack from the world, and it happens all the time, you are the fortress. Do not panic. Don't panic and don't collapse. Stabilize. This don't mean that you're silent. It means you're strategic. You speak truth in private. You shield him in public and you correct him with love. I'm gonna run that back. Y'all listening? Ladies, when a man is under attack, when your man is under attack, do not panic. But fellas, y'all don't panic either. Do not panic. I'm serious. I mean that. Don't ever panic because that ain't making nothing better. See it through, okay? Do not collapse. Women, ladies, stabilize. I'm not saying be quiet. I'm saying be strategic. Shield your man in public. Correct him if he's wrong. You do that in private, at home, but with love. The way that you defend your man is with loyalty. You honor the curve. Ladies, your intuition is that's not irrational, right? Your emotional intelligence is not weakness. Fellas, just because the women reign supreme in emotional intelligence does not mean that you should not try to refine your means of understanding and interpreting emotions. You should. In SSL, when you go through the Superior Man course, emotional intelligence is the biggest thing that we teach in there, okay? And that's very for us to learn because we don't naturally have it. We're logical robots. We're chemical robots. A woman's ability to sense what logic is missing, that's a gift. So stop apologizing for it and don't suppress it. But also don't try to think like a man. You're not designed to be a man. You were designed to be a rib. And the rib's curve is what creates the space for life. I'm serious. Stay connected to the spine. The rib that detaches from the spine, that happens in the body. It's called a floating rib, and it provides no protection. It's a liability. It's no longer an asset. It serves no function. It's just there, and it can stab you. It can stab an organ instead of protecting it. You must stay connected to the central axis, right? That means shared values, shared submission to Allah, shared purpose. When you detach, you lose your function. And when you lose your function, you lose your peace, right? Expand and contract with your man. Ribs move with breath. They do not resist the rhythm. When he needs to expand, growing, building, conquering, you make room. When he needs to contract, resting, recovering, grieving, you allow it. You do not shame a man for his exhale. So that means in that resting, that recovering, that grieving, you don't shame a man during those periods. okay? You do not demand him to just keep going. No. You understand that strength is rhythm. Even if y'all work out, you lift weights, but you gotta eat, you gotta sleep, you gotta recover, okay? There's a rhythm to all of these things in life. Nothing is static. And for both man and women, this is very important. The submission must be unified. The spine and the rib do not function independently. They submit to the same nervous system. They answer to the same brain. In a relationship, the central command is Allah. When both the man and the woman submit to the Creator, alignment happens naturally. Fellas, call your ladies in the room right now, especially if you're a Muslim. Call your ladies in the room right now. When your man submits to the will of Allah, I'm gone. You see when they be cutting me. They cut me. It's not weird to me. I get it. I understand it. I get it. Yeah, I shut that down. That ain't it. That's not it. They don't want the truth out there, right? It don't matter. We're going to keep coming back with the truth. Ladies, if your man is submitted to Allah, he's really about that life. And if he's not, it's obvious. And you need to get away from him if he's not. He's playing with God. But if he's in alignment, if he's in submission, you follow that man, that spiritually. And if it's a situation to where you are leading spiritually, it's not evenly yoked. You're not the spine, he's the rib. That's not the vibration, okay? So a man's, all must be in submission. But a lot of time it's the man leading into that. Follow him. There's no objective truth among people because everybody is not aligning with God, right? They're aligning with their own ideas of what's right, what's wrong, what's this, what's that. We could do away with that and align with God and God's rules. When you do that, you got the rule book. Both of you got the rule book, so you know what's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to do this and move this way. We have order. There's no chaos. Without God, it's chaos. I'm telling you. Listen, the Quran says this, and among his signs is that he created for you mates from among yourselves. That means you may dwell in tranquility with them. And he has put love and mercy between your hearts. Love and mercy, y'all, is not accidents. This is commandments from Allah. But they only function when both parties understand and honor the design. This is the prescription, and it's not new, right? It's not some new philosophy. It's not what I think it's supposed to be. It's ancient blueprint. The rib is doing what the rib is made to do. The spine is doing what the spine is made to do. And together, they're creating structures that will last and endure. Now, let's get into the protocols of the rib, right? We talked about all of the tools now. You need a system. Right? You need actionable steps to rebuild what has been broken. Y'all take notes. This will be in the replay, in the SSL. If you're not in the SSL, Brother Ricky, where's the link? You need to be in SSL to run this back. If not, it's okay. Take your notes right now, okay? I'm going to give y'all like this weekly diagnostic to assess whether the rib is protecting the heart or whether the structure is compromised, all right? And this is not about finding fault. That's not what we're doing. We're finding fractures before they become breaks, okay? You don't just looking for faults with your person. That's weird. You don't like them? Why are you in a relationship? Let's love our people, all right? This is real, and this is for us. Listen, we have to always apply violence towards entropy. So we do things to keep things good. Now, step one, schedule 30 minutes once a week, maybe a Sunday evening. This should be non-negotiable. Put in your calendar. Write this appointment down. Yes, okay? This is preventative medicine. Look at it like that for your relationship. Sit together in a quiet place. No phones, no distractions, no kids, no nothing. Just y'all two, right? And y'all got 3 questions for each other. Just be super honest. Where did I feel protected this week? Where did I feel exposed this week? What do I need from you this week to feel safe? Okay? Listen. Don't just be waiting to respond. Listen. Don't explain. Don't justify. Just receive the information. Y'all are gathering the data, getting the information. This ain't court. This ain't therapy. You know what I'm saying? All right? And then you commit to one specific action each based on what you heard. Write it down and execute that. You got 2 days to do that from when y'all sit down. Why? Relationships it ain't just like one thing happening and it's a wrap when they're over. It's a slow collapse. It's a slow collapse. A rib don't shatter with just one blow. It can endure. All of those fractures over time, those small cracks, those unspoken resentments, they build up. right? Those unmet needs, it will build up. You have to talk about it with each other. No, ladies, what we cannot do is read your minds. We can't do that. Sorry, we can't do that. And it doesn't go the other way either. So having an audit, right? It catches those little fractures, nips it in the bud, and you can fix it before it start breaking. All right. So it'll keep the protective structure intact just by y'all addressing damage before it becomes irreversible, because that can happen. All right. Protocol 2, the curve practice. Well, what is that, Mike? I'll tell you. It's a daily discipline for men to honor the feminine design instead of trying to correct it, and for women to embody their intuitive intelligence instead of suppressing it. This is the training for being complementary instead of being in competition with each other. It's not the vibration. Step 1 for the fellas. Once a day when your woman expresses emotion, shut the F up. Listen, don't try to problem solve. Do not dismiss it. Don't correct it. Just listen. Acknowledge it. I see you. I hear you. Keep telling me about it. I'm listening. For the women, once a day, when your man is processing logically, pause. Don't take it personal. Don't demand the emotional language. Honor his clarity and honor that the fact that his clarity comes from a different channel. Let him think out loud without interrupting him. Men, once a week, ask her this. What are you sensing that I'm not seeing? Because we have blind spots, fellas, so don't act like you don't. Trust her answer, even if it don't make logical sense yet, right? So she's seeing signs and she's reading signs that you're missing. So be patient. Now, next step 4 for the ladies. Once a week, affirm his logic. Tell him that your thinking is clear. I trust your direction, your discernment. You know what my lady said to me today? I was like, yes, like my chest got bigger. I said, I would like to teach. Is it all right if I teach you such and such from the Quran? She said, I want to learn whatever you want to teach me. She got me in the feels. She got me all up in the heart. Got me. I was like, yes, right. That's right. My voice got deeper. You know what I'm saying? I got taller. Yeah. That's beautiful. That's what we need. Okay? A man needs to know that his strength is seen, ladies. That's a fact. Don't treat a man like he ain't a man. Look, sometimes women be like, it be in competition and you won't acknowledge his masculine features. That's weird. Don't do it. Don't do it. Step 5, both people, before going to bed, say one sentence that honors the other's design. Man, you can say, for him, to her, I'm grateful for the way you feel things that I just can't do. Or you smell good. Something, right? Something that women just are good at. Something, just honor that. For her to him, I'm grateful for the way, you think things through when I don't, right? Y'all should be giving each other that. I'm saying this like at bed, going to bed, whatever, but this don't have to be, this could be for any time, whenever. Y'all have to just be mindful of these things. You're dealing with another person, okay? So, honor them. You're in a relationship. So, it's not like the fly sexy stuff don't stop. That's when you do it. You compliment your person. You love your person. Me and my lady, we joke a lot, right? And early in our relationship, we was joking. I was like, this right here, let's not do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want us to antagonize each other, because that's not the vibration. We're supposed to love each other and be on each other's team, not antagonize each other. You know what I'm saying? So we don't do that at all. It's not the vibration. Because you do that, you keep doing it, it don't stop. And you start really resenting each other and being negative towards each other. It's not the vibration. All right? Now, final instruction. This is the covenant of the rib. Listen, y'all, speak this out loud. This is gonna be inside the community. All right? You want to say this together. I am not in competition with you. I am in a partnership with you. I will not try to make you what you are not. I will honor what you are. I will protect what protects me. I will submit the design of Allah. I will not break the rib by straightening it. I will not abandon the spine by detaching from it. I'm sorry. Together, we are the architecture that endures. Bismillah. Now go, audit the structure. Find the fractures and honor that curve. Rebuild the cage. Because a man without his rib is a man with an exposed heart. And a rib without a spine is a rib with no purpose. Together, unbreakable. Apart, you're just bones in the dust. All right? Greater than your pride. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, for real. Allah is everything. It's greater than whatever we got going on. So align with Allah, right? That's how you grow outside of pride. You get over that. You also get over having fear, right? right? You also get over the need for you to be right all the time. When you align with Allah, you grow out of all of that. Where you want to be right or you want to be loved. You feel me? Now, and protect, integrate, close that in your bones. That's it, y'all. That's it. What time? We made good time tonight. It wasn't too crazy. I thought it was gonna be crazy. All right, so look, let's discuss. Who's writing, taking notes? Who's writing down their questions? Let's talk about it. Let's build.